Yeah, I know. My best images of 2018 all in one video. You can barely contain your excitement, eh? But before I start with that, I just want to thank a few people that have made 2018 such a good year, especially for my YouTube channel. And the first person I want to thank is Thomas Heaton, because Tom gave my channel a huge boost. We met in Moab in Utah just a few months ago, and we went on a couple of shoots together, hit it off, and when I got back I posted a bunch of videos, and Tom was kind enough to share those for me, and that exposed my videos to a whole new audience and really gained a bit of traction. So thanks a lot, Tom. You've really helped me get some momentum on the channel. Next up, I want to thank Adam Gibbs for his patience and putting up with my ridiculous ideas on these videos that we've been doing. We've made quite a few videos in the last few months, and hopefully we'll be making a lot more. We're having a blast doing these videos, but who knew that Adam was so funny? I think he must have been a thespian in a former life, because he takes really well to doing character roles, and he seems to just accept any ridiculous idea that I give him. So thanks a lot, Adam. Hope we can do some more of that in 2019. I also want to thank Brent Henderson for getting me out of my photography funk that I was in at the beginning of this year. I just really wasn't in the mood to go out and suffer and get out in the cold and the wind and the rain and the wet. And Brent flew over to the island and he dragged me off all over the place and said, look, we're going to go shoot this and we're going to go and shoot that. And it kind of rekindled my excitement for photography. And you've probably been through this yourself, where you go through a bit of a low point with it and you think, oh, I'm sick of chasing it. And that rekindled my excitement. So thanks a lot, Brent. So before I get into my best of 2018, I just want to show you this deleted scene that I took out of that Payzant Creek video. And if you watch that video to the very end, you'll remember a scene where Adam made a comment which made me spew my beer all over the lens. Oh.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
I had a brilliant day today.
Even though you shit yourself.
And you'll probably wonder what was he referring to? Well, now that you see this deleted scene, it'll start to make sense to you.
Gavin! Gavin! Woohoo! Gavin! Gavin! Oh, God. Where is he? Gavin! Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you, Gavin. Where you been?
Well, you know that fart that I did?
Yeah.
Wasn't a fart. I've shit myself.
Oh, God.
Have you got some bog roll?
No, what's bog roll?
You know, shit tickets.
No.
What about Kleenex or even a lens wipe?
Hang on. Well, I got this.
No, I'll have it. I'll have that.
Well, hang on a minute. This is my lens cloth.
Come on, let's have it.
Well, it cost me at least, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks.
Oh, f off. Come on, I'm desperate, man.
I'm sorry, but if you want to wipe your ass, you're going to have to pay me 15, 20 bucks for this.
$15 for a crappy lens wipe?
All right, 10 bucks.
Okay, tell you what, I'll give you $5 and I'll wash it for you and give it you back.
All right, and burger and beer too.
Burger and beer, yeah. Thank you. Was that a bit too much? Yeah. So now that I've gone and blown all of my artistic credibility and any chance you thought of me being a photography professional, let me try and redeem myself by showing you my best images of 2018. So, number one, what is number one? Number one, the fairy tree at Fairy Lake. This kind of means a lot to me because, like I explained earlier, this is the first shot of 2018. I've been chasing this shot for a few years and I got some pretty decent ones, but I'd never got a blue hour shot. And whenever you go there, you always get different conditions. The water level is different, but this day we got there. This is the first shot that I took of this year. Brent dragged me all the way out to the west coast to get it, and we stuck around for blue hour. The water was flat calm, and then this mist started to roll in just as it was turning into blue hour, and I got that perfect reflection. I got the mist coming along in the distance. So yeah, this was my very first shot of 2018, and it really means something to me. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Number 2, Drain Pipe Falls. It's difficult to take a bad picture of this place. It's so easy to get a brilliant picture. And this was the second day that Brent took me out, and this was the first vlog of 2018. So it was kind of like the video that kick-started this channel for this year. And we hiked into the canyon, and the conditions were absolutely perfect. The water flow was ideal. We had gorgeous texture, and we had lovely color in the moss. So yeah, this was a really sweet shot to get. Even though I've been shooting this place for years, finally I got the ideal conditions. Number 3, the third cascade at Stocking Creek here on Vancouver Island. This was the month of light rays. I think this was April, May sometime, and it was that month where there was loads of sun, but the water levels were still high enough that they were creating lots of spray when the water hits the ground, and then the sun would hit that and light it up and give you these beautiful light rays. So that's why I called it the third cascade, because it kind of looks like there's 2 cascades of water and then a third one made entirely of light. So this was quite a lovely shot. Again, I've been there many times, never got anything quite as special as this, so I was very happy to get this one. Number 4, Roots and Rays. This is it's one of those moments where it's the very first time I ever went there, so thanks to Tanya for showing me this spot. I just showed up, and literally within 5 minutes of showing up, I spotted this composition with these gorgeous roots in the foreground, and then the sun poked through the trees and lit the spray that was coming up off of the waterfall to create these gorgeous light rays. By the way, I've just released a new photography course, How to Photograph Waterfalls. You're going to get 3 hours of HD video tutorials that are start to finish, and you also get 10 bonus content videos, access to a closed Facebook group, and 1 personalized image critique. Nice. Number 5, Pacific Light at Botanical Beach on the west coast. This was one of those shots that just caught me all of a quiver. You probably experienced this where you walk into a scene and at first you don't really see anything. Then you turn around and you look behind you, and that's it. I was like shaking, I was so excited. These light rays, the sun was just blasting in because it was a bright sunny day, and it was hitting the spray that was coming off of the waves, and the spray wafts into the trees, and then the light hit it at that exact moment. And it was moving so fast that I was kind of literally chasing these light rays as they receded back along the trail. And I was kind of really panicked that I was going to miss it, and all I had on was an 18mm prime. I didn't have time to change and switch to a zoom, so it's kind of like panic mode, but I managed to get the shot in the end. It wasn't quite exactly what I would have composed had I had a zoom lens and a bit more time, but when you get the best conditions, you usually don't have time. So yeah, this was a pretty sweet shot that I'm still very happy with. Number 6, Caramel Swirl, the Cumberland potholes, again here on the island. And I've been to this place so many times, and only that one time, the day that I got this shot, did I get the ideal water level. So I think it must be fed from a reservoir or something. It must be some runoff from somewhere, because you go there and it's either blasting and you can't even see anything like it was the last time that Adam and I was there about a month ago, or it's just hardly anything and it's completely bone dry in the summer. So to get it perfect like this, I was overjoyed. And what I love about this location is it kind of looks like somewhere out of Western Australia. It doesn't look like Vancouver Island. You know, it's so, these colours and those lovely brown, rusty caramel tones are absolutely gorgeous. And then with the little bit of water that's cascading through, oh, very juicy. Number 7, Mulla Fossa Waterfall in the Faroe Islands. Oh my God, this day, you don't get light like this very often, and for me to get this on my second visit to this waterfall, well, to say that I needed this moment, I needed this light, is an understatement, because it was like all my Christmases, birthdays came all at once. I was shooting for literally an hour. I think I must have shot 200 frames just constantly, because the light kept changing. It was doing all of these amazing pyrotechnics in the sky, and oh, to get a shot like that on your second visit, that was pretty sweet. And I've got to thank Warren, my friend and client Warren, for dragging me there and showing me all around the islands. It was a real pleasure to go there with someone who knew where to go and showed me how to get all the best shots, even though I was supposed to be helping him get the best shots. And he wasn't too pleased when I got that shot about 2 hours after he left and gone home. Sorry, mate. Did I mention that I'm doing a workshop in May in the Faroe Islands? Sure, I mentioned that at some point, but if you didn't know, I've got 2 spots left on that workshop. Head over to fototripper.com. I'll put a link there. Be sure to check that out because it's going to be magnificent. Number 8, Triple Moonglow at Triple Peak here on Vancouver Island. This is my absolute favourite shot of 2018, primarily because it's gorgeous. I like the look of it, but it was very hard won. I suffered so badly to get this shot. Well, we all suffered because a whole bunch of us went up there on 2 occasions, and on the 3rd occasion, that's when I got this shot. I got over 300 mosquito bites. I looked like I'd been buckshot or in some kind of explosion. It was terrible, but it was totally worth it because at the perfect moment of getting the stars all focused and getting my composition right with my friend Catherine, who kindly sat in the shot and sat perfectly still for 30 seconds, just as I got everything lined up perfectly, the moon popped up in the east, just a little sliver of a moon, I'd say like a quarter of a moon, and just lit the scene from the side. So if you look at the peaks there, it's got this gorgeous moon glow to it, this lovely blue hue, which I kind of love that. I just totally love that type of light. Well, I decided it was a little bit too cold and noisy out on the streets of Ladysmith. Who knew that Ladysmith would be so busy on Boxing Day night? It was like bloody Times Square. Anyway, I've come home where it's marginally warmer, and I've got this bit of Christmas cheer. I've got Golden Honey Ale by the local Wolf Brewing Company, and no, they don't pay me to say that, and I don't even get free beer, but anyway, let's enjoy a nice bit of Christmas cheer. Cheers. Yes, I am drinking beer out of a wine glass. You'll get over it. Sorry, it's not beer. It's shandy. Yeah, no alcohol. Number 9, Dranganir, the Faroe Islands. I've had many stupid moments in photography, moments where I've risked my life just for a picture, and this was a pretty stupid moment. So I hiked all the way out there and I got right down to the level of the water to get my composition. I composed this gorgeous shot. I was loving the shot, but then I had second thoughts after the 6th wave almost took me out into the ocean. I had water up to my knees and my camera was going over, so then I moved the camera up 6 feet to this spot that you see now, and that was almost as good a composition, but at least I lived to tell that tale. I think what I love about Dranganir is just the sheer drama of a place like that, and it's kind of like Scotland in some respects, where even on a crappy, horrible grey day where you think you wouldn't get a picture, you actually can get a spectacularly dramatic, intense image. Such is the power of that landscape. Now, did I mention that I'm doing a workshop in the fact? Yeah, I mentioned it, I know. I just thought I'd ask because you don't seem to have booked it yet. What's next? Oh, number 10, the Sentinel, San Josef Bay, right here on Vancouver Island. I've been dreaming about this shot for years, and I kind of had a feeling that the Milky Way would just line up perfectly with those gorgeous vertical sea stacks on the beach. But I never quite managed to get my timing right and get out there on those few days of the year where the conditions are going to make that shot possible. But Brent was over on the island because we were supposed to be traveling to Baffin Island. Anyway, that trip got cancelled at the last minute, and so we were scrambling around for somewhere to go, and Brent had never been up there, had never seen these sea stacks, and they are just epic. Number 11, Aspen Glow, the La Salle Mountains in Utah. And again, I've got to thank Thomas Heaton for this shot because it was his idea to go out there with a whole bunch of instructors from this conference that we were at. So off we went, a whole gang of us. We had an absolutely brilliant day. So I love this shot because of the shot itself. Has got that gorgeous contrast in the clouds. That mountain peak looks really impressive, and of course the way that the sun is hitting those aspens and making them glow in certain parts of the shot. And then of course I love the shot because it's a fun reminder of a really fun day out with really good people, and lots of laughs were had. Number 12, the Soakening, the Crystal Mill in Colorado. This shot has a great story and an entire vlog dedicated to how I got that shot and the huge journey and the planning and the effort. But suffice it to say, I mean, I'll put a link there, you can watch that, but suffice it to say, it was thousands of miles of driving. I had to hike through thunder and lightning and rain. I got completely soaked and drenched, and I couldn't have been happier. Struggling against all odds to get a shot, and then you do get that shot. You know, you have to suffer a little bit for your art, and when it all comes through, it's so worth it. For me, it's that brief moment in time where there was just a little gap, and then the sun poked through, lit up those rocks and created this gorgeous contrast. And I love how contrasted the clouds are, the beautiful aspen trees, and of course that structure is so impressive. So yeah, that was definitely worth the drive, definitely worth the hike. And I think if there's ever a shot that defines my style of photography and my style of processing, the soakening at the Crystal Mill is the shot. Number 13, Water Sprite Lake Moonrise. So this is a shot that, again, I'd planned on getting this quite a long time ago, and for whatever reason I could never quite make it out there. Anyway, we finally made it out there in October. A whole bunch of us went out there, and I wanted to capture the moon as it rose just above the peaks there. But on the first night, I totally messed it up. I thought everything was good, my composition was great, the light was great, but somehow I'd nudged the focus wheel and hadn't realized it was out of focus. So, you know, with the moonrise, you've only got a certain amount of time and then it's over, right? But I messed it up. I thought all my exposures were good, and when I checked them afterwards, they were all blurred. But luckily, I had a second go at this the next night, and it turned out better because the moon was a little bit lower down on the ridge, and I thought it was a slightly more pleasing composition, and this time I made sure not to mess up my focus. And that's my top tip. In all of your photography adventures, the only thing that you can truly mess up with no chance of recovery is focus. It's time for some red stuff now. Just grape juice, non-alcoholic. Number 14, Lit from Within. This is another one of those shots that I've been after for quite some time. I've been going to the Butch Art Gardens year after year, trying to time it just right so that I get that bounce light, the sun that comes down, hits the pond, bounces up and lights that tree from underneath. Well, finally, this year, I got it. And I made an entire vlog episode dedicated to this day. And it just kind of goes to show that with a bit of perseverance, if you keep trying, you keep plugging away at a shot, you will eventually get the perfect conditions. And I like this shot because I feel like you could just walk straight into this composition, straight onto that little pathway and become part of the scene. Number 15, the last one, On the Edge, the Faroe Islands. My image of the cliffs and lighthouse at the dramatic location of Kalsoy in the Faroe Islands. What an absolutely fantastic place this is. I think the word epic is completely overused in landscape photography, but I think that the word epic was created specifically for this scene. In the Faroe Islands, if you don't like the weather, you've only got to wait 5, 10, 15 minutes and it will change dramatically. So 1 minute you can have a dingy grey day with miserable rain clouds, and within 15 minutes it's blue skies and you're wondering, where did all the clouds go? So there you go, those are my best images of 2018. I hope you enjoyed looking at them as much as I enjoyed creating them. It's been a fantastic year with so many adventures, and I can't wait to see what 2019 holds. Oh, and please post a comment, let me know which of these images you liked best and why you liked those images best. And last but not least, I want to say a big thank you to you, because it's the subscribers, the people that like, the people that comment that really make this all worthwhile. And I love the comments because they help me to create better content. So let me know what you like, and if I like to create it, then I'm going to create it. I'm Gavin Hardcastle from Fototripper.com. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Juicy.